Welcome back to Comics, the podcast where me and my mom go through our comic book collection 2 issues at a time. And this week we're starting with DC Comic, a #1 issue from 1983, Batman and the Outsiders #1, collector's item first issue. Do you know how much this one is worth if you had to guess? This
No, not
collector
at all.
item from
$20?
4 years before my birth will get you a clean $5 on eBay.
Man.
A crisp $5 bill. But maybe, maybe they'll make an Outsiders, Batman and the Outsiders movie, and it'll skyrocket.
It's a lot of heroes for one movie,
Yeah. It's almost like an Avengers.
This is interesting because you've got Batman, and he's being very prickly here.
I know.
He's like, I've had enough.
And of course, it doesn't really happen that way. It's just sensationalized. I like how shocked.
I know.
Flash, he's got those little beady eyes.
Superman's just pissed. He's just
Yeah.
like, I've carried you how many times? And Wonder Woman looks
That's a weird expression
concerned.
for her. Her nose
And
looks a
then
little too small.
These three guys look just kind of shocked. And these guys,
Firestorm has his eyes closed during the picture or something.
you're right. He can't even face it.
So the Outsiders are, Halo. I think his name is like Geoforce or something like
Yeah.
that. Metamorpho, Katana, and Black Lightning. And this is their, like, creation, because we have actually gone over an Outsiders comic in a previous episode of this podcast, but it was newer and it was without Batman. So I think they started off as a team being mentored by Batman, but eventually he couldn't stand him anymore.
This is a great drawing of Batman.
Yeah, I like the font too.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the idea of Batman like training a new group. A lot of this issue is him being frustrated by them. And I think that's going to probably be a theme if we read more of this series, is he's like the grumpy old experienced guy and they are bumbling.
The more that we go into these comic books and these characters, it kind of is proving how kind of a grumpy old guy Batman is.
Mm-hmm.
You think Alfred would be the grumpy old guy, but he's just,
He's more cheerful.
Yeah, and he just,
I think it's weird that they say, presenting a new group of heroes for our troubled age. What was going on that they thought? Also, they have John Keats' quote says, "In other spirits there are standing apart upon the forehead of the age to come. These will give the world another heart and other pulses. Hear ye not the hum of mighty workings? Listen a while, ye nations, and be dumb." It's from 1816. It's weird to frame this episode in such a lofty way, because the first appearance doesn't really have them like decide to be a team or really have much background about how they got where they're going. I guess I'll just have to show you.
Yeah.
We start off in this Wayne Enterprises building. They're giving Lucius Fox like a going away party. He's not retiring, but he's like he's been appointed the leader of some business dealings. I don't know if it's his promotion or something, but he's going to Markovia. Markovia is a Eastern European nation that I think there was an Earth-themed Terra, that's right, from Teen Titans, who turned out to be a spy. She originally joined the Teen Titans and has Earth manipulation powers, and she turned out to be a double agent working with like Deadshot, I think that's the character's name. So anyway, that's the same country she's from. And actually her sibling is one of the Outsiders, Geoforce. He has similar Earth powers. So anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. But Lucius Fox is like, "Oh, you just want to get rid of me, huh?" And he's like, "No, you're going to represent Wayne Enterprises in Markovia. It sounds like a pretty good gig, but I gotta go." And Lucius is like, business, Bruce, blonde or brunette? Actually, a redhead. And he's beating up a redhead. I like that. He's like, no need for the hardware, Rooster. This gangster guy, this drug dealer's nickname is Rooster.
I
just
love
because he's got red hair.
how he's just coming in with full face, you know?
Yeah.
Wham!
Right through the window.
Yeah. Very Daredevil-esque.
Yeah, I know. I like the crossing of the arms. He grabs the gun with this arm and then crosses over. It's like a
left
weird
hook, kind of. Yeah.
And he's mad because I guess this Rooster character was able to get rid of his drugs before he could bust him, so he has like the profits of the drug deal
in his purse.
And meanwhile, he's like, I'm just so busy. I don't have enough time to do all the things I want to do to fight crime. And look at that plane. That must be Lucius's plane. Now I'm stressed out about him going to Europe, and I hope he has a good time. Lord knows he works hard enough. These are the things that trouble him. I hope that he's getting enough rest. And there's a little montage of him grabbing somebody. I don't know if he's saving somebody from getting hit by a car, it looks like, or grabbing them from a moving car. It's kind of unclear. He's being shot at. This one goes right under his knee.
Jeez.
And he's working over 48 hours and getting increasingly fatigued. When he comes home, Alfred's like, I got your usual snack ready. He's like, I don't have time for that. I have time for a shower and 3 hours of sleep before a drug bust. When all of a sudden he sees in the paper that Alfred's carrying on the tray, oh my God, Gothamite missing in Markovian Revolution. There was a revolution and Lucius got taken as a hostage.
Oh no.
I tried to reach you, sir. That's what Alfred says. Give me the State Department and the Markovian embassies in both Gotham and Washington. I'll be there. And he's like, I already tried all of that, and they're not. There's no information. There's a blackout of information, so they don't want us to get involved. He's like, oh, I can do better, and he does his little buzzer, his beeper belt thing, and it zaps up to the JLA satellite.
Shoot.
And he teleports up there. Meanwhile, Green Arrow's complaining, goes and calls an emergency meeting of the JLA, then doesn't show up. Of all the freaking nerve. Well, here he is, about time. It's weird how sassy and demanding he can be in the comics, and I think of the Arrow TV show where they kind of go a different direction. I mean, he can be like that a little bit, but he's less sarcastic or something.
Right.
He's very sincere seeming in my memory. I didn't watch the entire run of the show, but I watched a good 3 or 4 seasons, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, this is so this is all called, all these people, bored old Aquaman there. Look, he's falling asleep. They're all assembled because Batman needs help getting Lucius Fox. I don't know. It's like that's a job for the whole JLA. You couldn't call just Superman. He could probably just help you by himself, or Wonder Woman.
Swoop in and grab him and take him. Yeah,
and just call it a day. He could probably do it so quickly. The Flash could do it so quickly. No one would know that Lucius was even gone until it's too late. But the problem is the State Department contacted the JLA, and the government, the American government, doesn't want them to intervene. I don't know. They just said, Superman's like, yep, that's what they told us to do, and that's what we're going to do. And Batman smacks his hand away.
Whoa.
He's like, then effective immediately, I resign. He quits the JLA because they're not going to help him go to Markovia.
He doesn't even give them a chance to say, hey, Bruce, come here.
There's not a lot of deliberation. Like, you think there would be.
It's almost like he's so exhausted that he doesn't give. Right. He's not thinking clearly. He's being rash. He's jumping to conclusions.
Yeah.
He's posing.
I guess. Yeah. Well, I liked how they do this, where he's like explaining. He's like, if I don't try to seek justice, then what's the point of my whole life is a lie.
That's a beautiful drawing right there.
Yeah, I really like that pinkish purple sky behind him, and the way they draw the cape. That's really cool. But yeah, they give us a little Batman origin story, I guess. It's interesting because it's like, the main audience for this comic knows about Batman's origin. So I don't think it's to really catch us up, but just to it reinforces the little speech, it makes it more interesting to give this little synopsis. It gives it a sense of stakes instead of just have him go on and and on about justice or whatever. Superman's kind of a jerk, though. The matter is closed, Batman. I said no member of the Justice League would interfere, and I gave my word. I feel like it escalates so quickly. I think they didn't have enough pages to really give it like a proper debate or something. Because all these characters have worked together for so long, and this is the hill that they die on. This is like, our relationship's over just because you won't help me. I don't know, and it's like, I get it's a civil war, so like there's innocent people and they don't want to like favor one side and create like they're the world police or something. But like, all he's asking them to do is get his friend back. Like, can't that be its own thing and be like, you guys fight your war, I'm just gonna get my friend.
Like you said, the Flash or Superman could get in there so quickly no one would see it.
I know. You think Batman himself would be able to do it really stealthily?
True.
But I don't know. They needed some reason for Batman to be like, I'm starting my own team. So this is what they came up with, I guess. I don't find it particularly interesting.
And Lucian is very important to him.
Lucius Fox, I think, showed up only in one other Batman comic that we looked at so far that I remember anyway. He's a character that I guess he's in the Christopher Nolan Batman movies because he helps create that defense, that surveillance thing that is so ethically questionable. The other reason that they have this Markovia plot is because one of the characters from The Outsiders, the Geo guy, Geo Force or whatever, he is one of the sons of this dying baron. King Victor. He's not a baron, but he's like the leader of the traditional forces, and the rebels are trying to kill him off, And his two sons are Gregor, who's the more traditional one. He's in the fancy, like, military garb, and then in the more plain, like, brown infantryman is his brother. So they are both brothers of Terra from the Teen Titans, as I mentioned, and I guess Markovia has a whole land-like theme. They're all like, there's like a geo force there. Maybe it's because they're related, but Gregor's going to become king. He's next in line. He's the older brother, and then Brian is his younger brother who wants to use science to fight the rebellion. So Gregor's like, this is all a bunch of kooky nonsense because the scientist shows up. And then the younger brother, Brian, is going to work with Dr. Jace here. And he's like, you know what? Maybe she gave our sister powers. So, let's get some powers. And Gregor's like, powers are stupid. I hate powers. Anybody that gets powers is dead to me. And so they have kind of like he doesn't go that far, but he's just not interested. He thinks it's like a perversion or something. I like the way they split his face and make him look so mad that way.
My father is dead, woman.
So they're at Castle Markov in Markovburg in Markovia. Yeah, they got really imaginative.
Wow.
Thinking about the history of this fictional nation. And so outside, a villager in Markovburg encounters this man in an automobile, which is kind of a rare sight in their humble village.
Wow.
And he's like, look, if you tell me where to find Dr. Jace, that's the royal scientist we just saw, I'll give you the car. He's like, yeah, over in the hills west of here. Which, to me, is not a specific enough answer to warrant getting a car, but he gets it. And so, meanwhile, cutting away yet again to a different part of Markovia, where we have somebody surrender. He comes along this young soldier where they describe, this young man has read every issue of Soldier of Fortune and has never eaten quiche in his life. He considers himself a soldier, a man. Still, deep down, he hopes he won't have to kill anyone. And
Still,
who is it?
Deep down, he craves quiche.
Quiche and blood. He encounters a man surrendering. He says, will you take me to your boss? I think he'll want to see this. And he drops this gold bar.
Whoa.
And he has told them that this is Lucius Fox's brother. Says his name is Fox. Says he's looking for his brother. So far, so good, he thinks. That's his cover story.
Interesting.
And he's like, this is actually Jefferson Pierce posing as Lucius Fox's brother, and Batman's like, I don't think they would believe me if I showed up as Bruce Wayne and said he was my brother. So Jefferson Pierce is Black Lightning. You can see his little lightning costume poking out under his flannel there.
I love his moves. They look so awkward.
Yeah, his legs are kind of like splayed out in a weird way there. And yeah, that's a weird backward kick he's got. You know, that's like a karate-looking kick, but I think he's tripping a little bit.
Yeah.
He's like simultaneously punching and kicking, which seems like you're spreading. You'd want to put all of your body's momentum into one extremity, I would think. But
yeah,
hey, I'm not.
Hey, it works for him.
I'm no Black Lightning. I've never been in a fight with Markovian soldiers before. Batman is kind of monitoring the situation. He's got a listening device. And so it's going okay. Jefferson is saying, how about it, General Carnes? My brother for this gold bar. And 9 more just like it. I thought it was funny when I thought it was just 1 gold bar. I was like, I'll bring 1 gold bar and get my brother's life. Which, you know, I'm sure that gold bar is worth something, but just 1 is a little underwhelming.
Yeah.
But it's just a teaser. And he's about to agree. He's like, I think we can reach an agreement when he's stabbed through the tent, which causes the soldiers to rush out. And he's like, oh, they're going to think that was me, but it was not. So he starts fighting and reveals that he's Black Lightning. It was Katana. She's escaping. She killed, totally messed up the scheme they had going.
Why? Why would you want to team up
She's
with her?
She's an amateur.
Jeez.
Well, that's the thing that's weird is I think maybe in the next issue it'll be revealed that Batman's coordinating this, but it's kind of unclear because we never got a scene before this where like, okay, if the JLA aren't working with me, I'm going to assemble, like so a lot of times you would expect a movie, there'll be a little montage of like, okay, he goes to this place to find Katana, and then we have a little scene of him catching up with Black Lightning. He's like, you're going to join my crew? But we don't get any of that. We go right to Markovia. It seems like he's coordinated with Jefferson Pierce, but Katana, from the dialogue and everything, unless I'm just missing the subtext or something, she's here for her own reason. She says, my vengeance is done. If I may depart in peace, I'll let you live.
Oh, vengeance always messes things up.
So I don't know if she becomes part of the team. She's just happened to be there at Markovia for her own revenge, and she becomes part of the team over time. Or if she was hired by Batman to work with Jefferson Pierce, but like had her own agenda. I'm not really sure what's going on here.
This is a very nice panel, too.
I guess I see this. Enough, Katana. Naught will be gained by further battle. But it's got this weird pinkish, wiry thing. So is that Batman talking to her? Black Lightning gets subdued, gets a rifle butt to the back of the head, and he gets captured. Take him to headquarters. The Baron will sort this out. He's listening in, Batman is, on what happened to Black Lightning. Damn, a perfectly feasible plan foiled by some outsider. Now I'll have to free both of... So that to me suggests that he didn't know Katana was going to be there. And it's like, oh, outsider? You said it yourself, Batman. We're just a bunch of outsiders. Wait, maybe that's the name of our team. You know, there's going to be like a moment like that later on. I bet Metamorpho says that or something. So he looks over, and who is it but this glowing lady? A girl with some kind of glowing halo around her, as if I needed another problem. Pulse is regular, breathing normal. And she wakes up and freaks out because she thinks that Batman's going to attack her. Stay away from me. I won't let you hurt me again. I've never seen you before, miss. Miss, ma'am.
Oh.
American accent, but where did she get those powers? So she has like amnesia, and he catches her because she's getting woozy. He's like, when's the last time since you had food? You probably just need to eat. She's like, food? What's food? So she's got really like bad amnesia. She doesn't even know what food is.
Live chameleon, free.
Free! It's not a free live chameleon. Live chameleon has broken free. And he's with an order of a month's supply of chameleon food. So you have to pay for the food. The chameleon comes for free. That's a weird way to advertise it.
Crazy.
Learn how to earn money. It's vague.
Oh, no. No.
It's weird to see bodybuilding course and it's got like a young boy's head and a huge muscle man's body.
Ew. And
Your
then?
third grader buys this and he's, oh! He looks like this, but with a little boy's head. So we go back to Dr. Jace, who is subjecting Brian, the younger brother, to the prince of Markovia, to these experiments. I guess she just blasts him with this weird little chemistry-looking thing. And it gives him powers. There's not a lot of backstory.
And the knowledge to use these powers or to hone his skill?
They're really intuitive. He just figures it out right away. The same earth that nurtures us, feeds us, the earth of our forefathers sprang from, if you believe the legends. So I think there's some kind of like earth-themed folklore from Markovia. They sprang from the mud or the soil or whatever.
That's kind of Greek mythology.
Yeah.
From.
You will be our savior. And it's like, it's funny that they had the costume ready. Like, don't
with
give
the
him
belt.
He doesn't even have the powers yet. And they're like, well, you'll probably want brown and orange-ish yellow, right? It's like, I don't know. What do these bracelets do?
Right.
They help with
the arm
thing.
and the belt and the boot. The little, yeah, it's weird.
Doctor, this is wonderful. I feel, stay where you are. So the revolutionaries found Dr. Jace and him, and he subdues them a little bit. He can make their bullets experience increased gravity, and he can shoot lava blasts that melt their weapons. But he didn't see that one was behind him, and he gets shot from behind.
Of course.
Meanwhile, this guy shows up. He was the guy who gave his car away, and he was wearing like a human suit or like makeup or something that he's tearing off to reveal Metamorpho. So Metamorpho is beating up some of these revolutionaries until he gets shot right in like the base of the thumb, I guess. I know that he's like a wrecking ball hand. So like we were saying, it's weird. There's Metamorpho, there's Plastic Man, and there's Elongated Man. And they are different, but it's easy to get them mixed up. This seems like something I would think Plastic Man would do, like to make objects and stuff out of himself. But he also like comes apart into segments, which I've never seen Elongated Man or Plastic Man do something like that. They take all the pieces and put them in a little duffel bag.
And what is it that causes him to do that? There's like
he gets shot in the base of the thumb, right in the wrist. Shot him in the wrist, and it takes him out, this guy.
But these lines.
Yeah, I don't really understand it. I think maybe he has to focus to have a form or something. Yeah. He seems to be made up of different elements or materials or something. I think that's why he's such a weird color scheme.
You know, we should keep close by. We were talking about the Marvel Universe A through C encyclopedias. We should keep them
Too bad we don't have a DC one.
Oh, right.
But yeah, that would be great to reference.
Yes.
That's a great idea. So, you thought Geoforce or whatever his name is. Is that right? Does that sound right? I should probably know it, but they don't call him that here. He's got a costume, but they didn't even bother coming up with his code name. He's not dead. He punches through the soil. So I don't know, maybe the soil heals him, or he was just playing possum, so they shot him, but not in a lethal place. And
but he did mention how the earth gives them life.
Yeah, maybe it's that folklore. And since he's part of the royal blood, maybe that's what makes him special or something. So they're flying, and Batman says, land here, Halo. And she's like, what? I thought you said where we're going is some distance away yet, and why'd you call me that? My bug is about a mile from here, but I want to take the revolutionaries by surprise. And I call you Halo because it fits you. And you don't remember your real name. I don't remember anything. I mean, she doesn't know what food is.
Yeah.
I like how Batman feels comfortable enough to be like, yeah, this is your code name. I'm just going to call you this. I'm not going to run it by you.
Fly me around. Yeah. I used to have a friend that flew me around.
Fly me around, Halo.
Yeah.
Why'd you call me that? That fits. Plus, you don't even know what food is, so you got a lot bigger fish to fry. Also, it's weird. Two-fisted first issue. Batman and the Outsiders. The new DC, there's no stopping us now. Be the first in your neighborhood to collect them all. Metamorpho, Halo, Katana, Black Lightning, Geoforce. now, so are they advertising the comic we're reading right now in the comic? It's kind of a...
Yeah, I wonder
Why does it say, like,
bigger
enjoy the
plans.
second issue?
Yeah.
Or you'll never guess what happens next.
Interesting.
Geoforce. Why is that hard for me to... It's so... I don't like that name, and I think, like, my distaste for it makes me be like, it can't be Geoforce, right? It's got to be something cooler. Like, I always second guess. I like Terra. That works, because it could be, like, a girl's name, but it's also, like, the Earth prefix for words. But Geoforce, why not just call him like Geo?
Right.
That would be cooler to me. Or like Mudman, Earth Dude, Rockman.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. So Halo is watching the Batman sneak up on the base, and she's like, "The Batman must not see that soldier approaching him, but I do." And it turns out,
all getting taken out by these soldiers. They're pretty good soldiers.
I know these soldiers are incredible. They're taking out some really powerful people, and they're just, all they've got is guns.
Yeah. I mean, I guess don't eat quiche is the thing.
Halo, no, I heard him coming, and they heard her. So he even knew this guy was sneaking up. But he's like, I don't need your help, kid. You're blowing my whole plan. And yeah, they put him up like a suckling pig at the tribal ceremony. They're going to put an apple in his mouth and roast him.
It looks like an old-fashioned movie, yeah.
That's what I get for working with amateurs. And
Bruce.
He takes a butt of the rifle to the head just like Black Lightning.
The old butt of the rifle.
So, my understanding from the preceding is that he was working with Black Lightning to rescue Lucius Fox, but he was not aware of Metamorpho, who's in Markovia to find Dr. Jace, because I neglected to mention this, he wants to be cured. He's under the impression that if you made me this way, you can undo it, but she probably doesn't know how to do that.
Right,
but apparently they have some back history. And then Katana was there for her own vengeance reasons. She hasn't been caught, so maybe she'll be the one that saves them. And I don't know, was Halo caught in that last scene? I don't think... she watches them carry Batman away, so maybe she'll help. She'll figure out what food is, and then she'll rescue all of her friends. They've been captured by Baron Bedlam. With a name like that, you can't be good.
Oh, goodness.
So, I don't know, doesn't it look suspicious that Batman would go to another country to rescue a Wayne Enterprises employee and, like... Is he going around to rescue all the Americans that get captured in foreign countries, or is he showing particular favoritism?
You would think that Lucius would know at this point. Batman is connected to Wayne Industries.
I know in some of the universes he does, because in Batman Begins, the Nolan one, he helps them get all the technology and everything, and then in others it's like he's a trusted confidant of Bruce, but he doesn't know that much. So yeah, that's the Outsiders, Batman and the Outsiders. I wonder if the idea was like, let's make this B team of JLA, but like, Batman is a really popular character, so we're going to staple them onto what he's got going on. And then they eventually took Batman away and be like, now that you've come to love Geoforce, who needs Batman? When you got Halo and Geoforce, the coolest.
And, yeah.
I like Black Lightning, I like Metamorpho. Katana's okay.
Halo's I don't know.
Halo reminds me of those two kids in Marvel, the Power Pack. There's 3 of them. We did a Power Pack a long time ago. They kind of remind me of that, like 80s, like pastel color themed rainbow kids of the future. It's a weird. I don't know if it has to do with the 80s in particular, but I associate it with that.
Yeah, no, I see it.
And we're going to get out of the 80s and into the 90s, the gritty 90s.
The gritty 90s.
And we were just doing a Hobgoblin.
Now we've got Demo Goblin.
I know. We had Hobgoblin from the 80s, and now we've got Hobgoblin and Demo Goblin. I always say Demo, like demon.
Well, because he is a demon. But, so I would,
He's not a demonstration goblin.
He's not. Well, here he's demonstrating how long his tongue actually is.
And Hob.
I love his...
He's just a big Calvin and Hobbes fan.
I love his riding deck or whatever that's called.
This is a really memorable comic for me because I remember trying to draw this character a lot, or like my own characters that were just my versions of these. But I used to think drawing lots of flames with lots of little points of every flame. That was something I always tried to do when I would draw, and just like lots of muscles or lots of arms.
Lots of muscles, yes.
I remember thinking it was so cool, the little cross-hatched eyes that make him look like more spider-like.
The fangs are insidious. They're nasty.
I know.
So yeah, I went with the...
And he is what, Doppelganger Spider-Man? Is that what they call him, the Doppelganger?
Well...
They're friends. They come from the same world, I think.
Yeah. This is where Peter is introduced.
It's weird to see him with... It's like, does he have eyes or no?
Well, he probably can turn his eyes on. Ew. Ew. Make him spin different directions.
Ugh.
The drawings here are nice.
He looks so cartoonish.
Yes.
Compared to the edgy 90s looking ones. He's just smiling with his flat teeth.
So we open with Peter Parker dreaming. And can you imagine, though, what it must be like to be a superhero? The dreams you would have would be horrendous. I mean, just looking at these guys is enough. Well,
or a nightmare
especially
about
that guy.
trying to get out of grad school.
Yeah, this is crazy. So he wakes up and he's like, another nightmare. Venom, Carnage, Hobgoblin, Green Goblin.
All the goblins.
All the goblins.
The bright colors compared to some of the older comics really stand out.
I know, I'm not sure that I like it. I mean, I do
these
because...
solid color backgrounds you were pointing out earlier are a little weird.
Yeah. I mean, the drawings themselves are very nice. But, I don't know, there's subtlety with those old...
And I like to see the detail of the rooms he's in. Sometimes it's cool to do the solid background, but if you over-rely on it, you end up getting these, you didn't even finish the window, like you're suggesting a couple windows. That's a real opportunity to flesh out the environment.
Yeah.
It looks green here.
I know. So he decides he's not going to keep Mary Jane up, so he leaves her a note, and he puts on his web slingers, and he takes off.
We've got an older married Spider-Man during this. That's another huge difference from the Amazing Spider-Man we're looking at. Mary Jane's back in the picture. No Black Cat to be found.
This is kind of a nice drawing, though.
Yeah.
Nice gradient. And so he's like, sheesh, I'm Spider-Man. I love being me.
See, the solid background can work if you do, the gradient like you were saying.
Right.
The contrast at least gives it some life.
Yeah. That's a nice splash page. And then he, like I said before with your last comic, it always seemed like he just kind of stumbled into, ways that he, could help people. And then, of course, they have to show the cop with the donut outside, missing everything. He leaves the bad guy.
Killing Joke, isn't that like a punk band or a goth band or something like that?
I think so.
This guy's got a solid purple shirt on. He's like, just like the sky of our fair city sometimes. I wear solid color purple.
And so he's just web slinging away. And he goes, so I give up a couple nights sleep once in a while, but I have fun anyway, not knowing that this burly guy...
I know, from behind, it looks ridiculous. The three arms from behind, he has no neck. It's like just the top of a head.
It's crazy looking. Then we cut to somebody else's. Jason Philip Macendale having his own nightmares. His are worse, though. They're actually... I mean, Spider-Man's were like images. His are like
floating,
action.
I'll take the floating heads.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
He's in hell, being ripped apart by Morbius.
So... And this kind of goes into the whole backstory, and he goes...
He was Jack-o'-lantern. I forgot about it. We needed another glider riding... Didn't he ride a glider? But he's pumpkin-themed anyway. Even if not goblin, he's pumpkin-themed.
Yep. First is Jack-o'-lantern, and then is the hobgoblin. His bloody past has always come back to haunt him. As he fell into the land of dreams, recent events have given those nightmares a more horrific bent.
Oh, God.
Macandale made a deal with the demon, and how do you say his name?
Esther?
Noster.
Yeah. Maybe. Something like that.
For more power. And he received the power. But he too became a demon. Recently, he and the demon separated. Now the demon pursues him. So he's got his own pursuer. And his teeth are...
Hobgoblin has his own villain.
Yep.
So does that mean we're going to get a team up?
Well, it shows him, and of course, like Spider-Man.
I just noticed Dunkin' Donuts.
Nice. So he wakes up, can't go back to sleep, so he goes to work out.
He's gotta wear his little white gloves.
Ew.
My magician's gloves on.
These guys are creepy. So he uses a gun, which is a little...
Gotta work out with my gun.
I gotta work out with my gun. And then he puts on the costume.
But he doesn't really use guns.
I'm gonna get the demon out of my head. Hunt him down. So he takes off, and then...
You can tell they're humanizing him, though, because look how normal his face looks. He doesn't look that evil.
Yep.
Just a little evil.
In my old ragged costume, the one he copied, and kill him. And then you hear behind, Sinner.
I like the red outline on his word bubble.
Then back in old Times Square, New York, he's just a web slinging, and wouldn't you know, the spider sense is tingling, and here we go again. And
damn, they blew up the camera's billboard.
Oh, dang it!
That's a good billboard. Any camera company
could
benefit
billboard.
off of that one. Just buy one. We don't care what type.
And we have exploding pumpkins again. Oh yeah, not to mention his new, what it says, demonic counterpart.
I like his yellow skin. He's got a little like crotch plate. That's too
a little
far.
much. And prepare yourself, mercenary. My mission will only become clear to me with your death. And so they go back and forth and on their little flying machines. And Spider-Man's worried about the people below, you know? I mean, they're in Times Square. I mean, there's tourists everywhere.
One thing I will say for the solid color background is that being able to change the solid color sometimes sets the mood.
It does.
Like the way the purple goes with his red and blue and yellow versus this blue one kind of changes the dynamics so quickly. That's a cool thing they can do.
Complementary colors. You've got purple and yellow. You've got blue and orange.
But then to keep it blue, it's like...
Yeah.
Why not change it again?
Yeah, but red's complementary is green, so
yeah.
that would be a little tough. So Spider-Man's like, we got to take this fight somewhere else. So he hits some web on a sign to help, and another web hits it.
Ooh.
And slices it. Yeah.
It's razor sharp web.
So that's a new one. And he goes, a guy could start to get a complex around here. And web line's been cut. Need something to break my fall.
Ooh. How about Goblin's face?
With his elbow. Thanks for saving my elbow, buddy. And he goes down hard.
With a wonk.
Yeah. And look, Spider-Man, I'm not looking for a fight tonight. Well, you got one anyway. What the? And his little...
Doppelganger.
And Hobgoblin's like, looks like this one's for you, Spidey. That's a nice panel.
And then they make his teeth look a little sharper all of a sudden. He's getting evil again.
He's interested. This is...
Ugh.
Yeah. And what is this thing? Looks like my evil twin. And I've been watching too much of MJ's soap opera. So he takes off. He's like, good luck, Spider-Man. So they're each fighting their own demon, you know? And so he takes off, and it looks like you're going to need it. Oh, and guess who's back?
They really sell his scared expression there. It's convincing.
I love this. Whoosh.
That's the Demo Goblin's flaming glider? No, it's one of his razor bats.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
That's insane.
Yeah,
Look at these
that's
pumpkins
cool.
coming flying.
I like the tatters on his costume.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder, what do you think his voice would be like compared to the Hobgoblin? If they had...
Probably how yours sounds now.
Probably.
When you're sick.
Probably.
We're not fish.
Ah!
No,
And,
I think it would be deeper. Booming.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, demons, you would think.
I don't know. Demons could be screechy, though.
So they're fighting up here in the sky, and then you've got Spider-Man and his doppelganger down here, and this thing is strong. I need some time to figure out what...
He just throws them off the building. I thought you were allowed to kill people.
And look at him. And he goes down and he, like, grabs how many cars at once, you know? And then he goes right back up there, but look at the carnage he left below. And too crowded for an all-out battle to take place. And now with Hobgoblin and his demon double going at it.
Gonna catch one right in his mouth. Oh.
Gosh, those things are crazy. Crazy. And I've got to take this fight from away from Times Square. So he's still, the Demo Goblin is still, die, sinner. This is a great
Not on your
panel.
best day, demon.
Great panel.
Yeah, I like the...
I love the angle there. It is rotting skin.
Ugh, his tongue is gross.
And it's rotting too. That would be fun makeup for a makeup artist to do for a movie.
That would be crazy.
I bet you'd have to sit in the chair for hours for that. So he comes in, feet first, like Spider-Man does, and give it a rest, guys. And thanks, pal, I owe you one. He takes off. And that was the general idea, harkening back to what you said. But not without company. So he latches on to his glider, which slows him down. So, of course, he's going to fight back. And he's like, you're slowing me down, webhead. And,
So he can shoot lasers from his finger. I don't remember that part.
yeah, they didn't show him when he was getting ready, putting on any kind of hardware, did they? But, so he goes, so much for owing me one. So then his web gets cut again, which cuts him. This is a nice panel.
Ooh,
I think they really did
Doppelganger's web.
Yeah, they did a great job with the faces on these characters.
Oh, yeah.
Like in your last Spider-Man, how even Peter changed from panel to panel. I think they were really good with the consistency. Although this is a little rough here.
I was going to say, it looks a little too truncated or something.
Yeah,
Or
that's a little rough.
His hat got pulled down too far.
And his crotch goblin got bigger while his face got smaller.
Yeah.
It's just bizarre. But, yeah, so Spider-Man falls. They both fall. And, of course...
I like that silhouette. That's cool.
Yeah. Spider-Man hits the lucky mattress in the alleyway. And Hobgoblin is pointing out, I would have gotten away from these lunatics without your interference. He's like, lunatics? That's not the pot calling the kettle Teflon, is it? And now what do you want to do about it? So they kind of have to team up.
Yeah.
Interesting little team
I
up.
think they're discovering that if they keep undercutting each other, they're just going to die.
Right. So he's like, let's kick some demon butt. A gun? Not just any gun. I still have lots of connections in the Merc community. A buddy is some friends with AIM. So he got this gun that he doesn't...
MODOK made it.
Oh. Can you imagine this doppelganger with a big old MODOK head and
I
all
want to
those...
see that.
God, so he doesn't really know what...
needs a new girlfriend.
He doesn't really know what the gun's going to do, but he loves the idea of it. And he shoots, and it's time that I get rid of that ugly son of a gun once and for all. Because if I don't, I get the feeling it'll be back. His pumpkin goes upside down. This is a great drawing of him. And at least Macendale knows where his doppelganger came from. I've never seen this thing before, so he has no clue. And it doesn't seem to be doing much talking. So it's just following him and attacking. He has no idea. It's like the first time he's ever seen it.
Have a motivation.
So they both continue the fight. His tongue
Blast
goes
him
flying
right off the
out.
glider.
Right off the glider.
Yeah, that long tongue really reminds me of Venom. It's like
Yeah,
they
it
venomized
does.
Hobgoblin.
And then, so he knocks him out, and hey, Macendale, are you? My demonic buddy got away too fast for me to follow. So I guess I'll settle for second. What does it say?
Best.
Oops.
Change
of plan.
So he's just ready immediately to double cross him, huh?
And he gets, yeah, he wasn't out. He was just about to attack. And he lands and gets
impaled
on the back.
Ouch.
And Spider-Man, I don't understand.
Whenever I pass by a gate that's like that, I'm like, I wonder what it would be like. Because I remember reading this as a kid. I'm like, you might fall on that.
I had a friend.
Hobgoblin
when he was
blasts
little. His grandparents had one like that. And it was his brother or him got pushed.
Oh,
I don't know where it hurt him, but it got him.
Yikes.
So that always made me freak out about him. And the gun is empty. Spider-Man's like, like, holy crap. And he takes off. Hobgoblin's like, see you soon. And Spider-Man's like, I need answers. This thing is some sort of alien. So he goes to take off to go see Reed Richards. And the demon comes riding back, picks him up.
Oh, they're friends.
And you may be of use in my campaign against evil mindless one. We will see. So I don't know that
they're friends now.
They're friends now.
Seems like he wasn't aware where this mutant spider came from either.
Right.
But maybe he has the power to resurrect him or something since he's demonic.
So we will see.
I like the different layers of flame coming out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Very Ghost Rider.
Hell flame.
Yeah, hellfire.
So there we have
That's a weird Ben Grimm.
Ooh.
It's a little funky looking in the face.
That's Yoga Ben.
He's like Donkey Kong Ben. If
Yeah,
his head ended there, it would have been more normal. But I remember this movie.
Honey,
I could not tell you what happens in them really, but I remember.
Other than the giant Little Debbie.
Is when they get shrunk and they go out in the yard and see like the insects and stuff. That's what I really remember.
And was it the oatmeal cookie, sandwich cookie?
Oh yeah, that sounds familiar.
That would be disgusting. Ew.
A giant one?
A giant one. And they
Why would it be gross?
Well, I don't know. I mean, how did it get in the yard?
Yeah, true.
And at that
just
scale
eat the part that's
difference,
sticking up off the ground.
I mean, they had a dog, so can you imagine running into a big old... Yeah. Anyway, on that note...
Is that a Swiss cake roll? No, it's turds.
It's a dog turd.
Or is it? Getting pretty hungry. Well, if you like this episode, like, comment, and subscribe on this video. And when we get 50 subscribers, we'll give away a free collectible issue of comic books.
Special cover.
A special foiled out cover of Iron Man. Thanks for watching.